Here's the problem with AI-generated job applications. They all sound the same. Same polished tones, same corporate phrases, same robotic energy. And recruiters can spot it instantly. But here's what most people miss. The problem is not using AI. The problem is using untrained AI. So today I'm showing you how to teach LLM to sound like you. So your applications stand out instead of blending in. Hey, career pragmatist. If you are new here, I'm Natalia, a top business school career coach turned AI entrepreneur. Here is a reframe you need. It's not about perfect writing. You need your writing. Everyone else is feeding AI generic prompts and getting generic outputs, which means you can stand out instantly just by teaching AI your actual voice. And that's exactly what we are covering today. How to train AI to write the way you talk so everything you create sounds natural, confident, and human. Let's go. First, let's talk about why AI defaults to that corporate robot mode. When you ask ChatGPT or Claude to write something without any training, it plays it safe. It uses natural language, formal tone, long, polished sentences, zero personality. Why? Because that's what it's been trained to do. AI doesn't want to offend anyone, so it defaults to the most generic, broadly acceptable style possible. The problem is, AI doesn't know your humor, it doesn't know your phrasing, it doesn't know your rhythm. And most job seekers don't realize this. They assume AI will make my writing better. Well, better according to what standard? AI's idea of good writing? Well, it's formal, polished, and completely forgettable. Here's an example. If you ask AI to write a cover letter without any training, you will get something like this. I'm writing to express my strong interest in the marketing manager position at your esteemed organization. With over 5 years of experience in digital marketing, I'm confident that my skills and expertise align well with the requirements of this role. Technically correct, but completely lifeless. No recruiters reads that and thinks, oh, I need to meet this person. They read it and think, this sounds like every other application I have seen today. And here's what you need to know. Companies are now detecting AI-generated content at scale. About 65% of Fortune 500 companies are using some form of AI detection on applications. And certain industries are particularly strict about it. Legal firms, financial services, and defense contractors are the most aggressive, with detection rates around 70 to 80%. Healthcare, government agencies, and educational institutions are moderate, and tech companies and creative industries tend to be more lenient. But here's the interesting part. The goal is not to catch cheaters and reject them. As one recruiter put it, we are not anti-technology, we are pro-authenticity. Companies want to make sure that what you write genuinely reflects your abilities and your style. They want to know they're hiring the person who shows up in the application, not hiring a chatbot. So when people ask, can companies tell if I use ChatGPT for my cover letter? The answer is yes. Increasingly, they can. But the real question is not, will I get caught? The real question is, does my application sound like me? Because if it doesn't, even if it passes an AI detector, it will not pass the human reading it. That's the default. And that's why training AI on your voice matters. So what does your voice actually consist of? Well, most people think of voice as this vague artistic thing, but it's not. It's specific, and it can be broken down into simple components that AI can learn. Here are the main elements. First, sentence length. Do you write short, punchy sentences, or do you prefer longer, flowing ones? Some people naturally write like this. I manage teams and I deliver results, I solve problems. Others write more like this. I have spent the last 5 years managing cross-functional teams, delivering complex projects on time, and solving operational challenges that directly impact revenue. Both are fine, but very different. And AI needs to know which one is yours. Second, vocabulary. What kind of words do you use? Are you formal or casual? Do you say utilize or use? Facilitate or help? Your natural vocabulary tells AI how technical or conversational your writing should be. Third, directness. Are you blunt and to the point, or do you soften your statements with body fillers? Some people write, this approach doesn't work. Others write, I think this approach might not be the most effective option in this context. AI needs to know where you fall on that spectrum. 4. Humor and tone. Do you use humor, sarcasm, playfulness, or do you keep things straightforward and serious? Of course, it depends on the context. This is where personality comes from. And it's one of the biggest differentiators between generic AI writing and writing that actually sounds like you. 5. Structural tendencies. How do you organize your thoughts? Do you lead with a conclusion or build up to it? Do you use examples earlier or save them for the end? These patterns are part of your voice, and once AI learns them, your writing will feel natural instead of formulaic. The key insight here, AI cannot guess these things. You have to teach them. All right, so how do you actually train AI on your voice? Here is the step-by-step process. Step 1, give AI samples of your writing. You need to show AI what your natural voice looks like. Gather 3-5 examples of your writing. The more is better. This could be emails you have sent, LinkedIn posts you've written, messages to colleagues, anything where you are writing naturally, not trying to sound formal. The key is this needs to be samples where you sound like yourself, not where you are trying to impress someone or follow a template. Paste this into ChatGPT, Claude, or any of your favorite LLM. All at once, just dump them in. Step 2, ask AI to analyze your tone. Now you give AI a simple prompt. Based on these writing samples, analyze my personal writing style. What are the key characteristics of how I write? Focus on sentence length, vocabulary, directness, tone, and structure. AI will give you a breakdown. It might say something like, your writing style is conversational and direct. You use short sentences frequently. You favor simple, clear vocabulary over formal language. Your tone is confident without being overly polished. You structure ideas by leading with a main point and supporting it with examples. Read that analysis carefully. Does it sound accurate? If not, correct it. You might say, actually, I'm more sarcastic than you described, or I use longer sentences when explaining complex ideas. This correction step is important. You are teaching AI to recognize the nuances of your voice. Step 3, lock it in. Once AI has accurately described your voice, you give one final instruction. Now say this is my personal writing style and use it by default when I ask you to write something for me. Most AI tools now have memory features that will store this. So from now on, whenever you ask it to write a cover letter, an email, or interview answer, it will use your voice automatically. You don't have to keep reminding it. It's trained. Step 4, test and refine. Generate something simple, like a short email or a LinkedIn post, and see how it sounds. Does it feel like you? Or does it still feel a bit off? If it's off, tell AI what's wrong. This sounds too formal, or I wouldn't phrase it this way. The more feedback you give, the better AI gets at matching your style. This whole process takes maybe 15-20 minutes. And once it's done, you never have to do it again. So, how does this actually help you in job search? Well, let me show you. Cover letter that feel natural. Instead of getting the generic corporate sounding cover letter, you get one that sounds like you actually wrote it. It has your sentence written, your vocabulary, your energy. And recruiters notice because it reads like a real person, not a template. Interview prep answers that sound human. When you use AI to help you structure your interview answers, untrained AI will give you something stiff and rehearsed. But trained AI, it gives you answers that sound conversational and confident, the way you would actually speak in an interview. When you are reaching out to a recruiter or following up after an interview, tone matters. Untrained AI will make you sound overly formal. I hope this message finds you well. I'm writing to inquire about the status of my application. Trained AI will make you sound like a real person. Hello, Sarah. I want to follow up on the marketing manager role we discussed last week. I'm still very interested and happy to answer any additional questions. You see the difference? And here's why this matters more than you think. Right now, everyone is using AI for job applications, but most people are using it badly. They're getting the same polished generic outputs, and recruiters are tired of it. When you train AI on your voice, you are not just making your writing sound better, you're making it sound different. And different is what gets noticed. In a pile of 100 identical cover letters, the one that sounds like a real person stands out. In a string of formal follow-up emails, the one that feels confident and human gets a response. So here's my challenge for you. Take 20 minutes this week and train your LLM on your voice. Give her some writing samples. Ask AI to analyze your tone, correct anything that feels off, and look at it. Then test it. Write a cover letter or an email with your trained AI and compare it to what you were getting before. I guarantee you will see the difference. And if you do this, drop a comment and tell me how it went. Did AI capture your voice? Did you have to correct it? What surprised you? I want to hear your results. And if you want more practical strategies for using AI in your job search, subscribe. I'm here every week breaking down what actually works. Talk soon.